folks. You're watching Goro Band official YouTube channel. Welcome. Hi, my name is Goro W. Raven. This is a series Goro Talks the World, Ep.2. Today, I'd like to introduce the voice from the former communist country. I can't specify which country, and I can't bring up the name because I'd like to protect the identity of the person who gave me this comments. I have many friends who are from former communist countries. Reason why I want to talk about this right now, because of the U.S. presidential election 2020. Joe Biden won, and the running mate Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris's political view is going towards pretty much communism. Joe Biden is bribed by communist country right now. I don't want to specify which country, but anyways, that's very famous in Washington. And just like Bernie Sanders, many of the politicians in the Democrats are actually communists. So that is why when they take over the office, now America may have the strong influences of communism. That is something that I am very concerned. And then I'm not the only one. Through my interaction with the people from the former communist countries, I witnessed that they're showing strong concerns about America, and they also fear that America's change will affect their countries one way or the other. That is why I started to think I should know what they think about the current situation of the world and their countries. So I asked many people, then it's amazing thing is that many people don't want to talk about that, especially people who had experience to spend their childhood or like when they're young by growing up and they experienced the communism regime. So I want to introduce the question that I made. Number one, what did you think about the U.S. presidential election 2020? It's very bold. Answer is we think election 2020 was fake and not valid. This is actually really happening right now. Many of the country's leaders do not have the credibility towards the Biden administrations. I think still we all have to watch current administration carefully. Number two, how do you think that result of the election in U.S. Affects to your country? Answer is it all comes from America. If Trump was elected, we would have more freedom. That's very straight answer. Yeah. Now it's about the pushing us into vaccines we don't want. Let me just tell you something. In the person's country, what's going on right now is they are required to have a vaccine, otherwise they can go to work. And then they are fined if they don't, and or either they were supposed to stay in the house. So it's much more strict. If they don't put on a mask in the public, police can be pretty brutal and violent to the people. Or I heard is that they have to put on more like an industrial kind of a mask right now. And then also, so they have a protest, but they couldn't do anything. It's like just back then in communist regime. Now, ones who have more power kind of like oppress people's freedom. Yes, it's actually really happening, and I heard about that from different sources. For example, the rideshare services in the US require you to put on a mask to receive their services, but still, it can be a driver's choice. You can still find the drivers who accept the people who don't wear masks. It's not like arrested, or it's not like going to the jail or like a fine. Yeah. And number three, according to Joe Biden, is bribed so much by communist country, and Vice President Kamala Harris's political view. America is now under influence of communism, as I think. Okay, how is your country now? Okay, answer is our country is in something worse than communism. Our law is disrespected, neglected, I think, It has turned into medical police state, which is I was talking about now. If you don't get the vaccine, you get fined, or either, you can't work, or it could be the very serious matters there right now. According to their law and the constitution, governments are not supposed to force people to things like putting on a mask of vaccination. Their freedom was supposed to be assured. But the government and law enforcement still don't really care, and the ones who don't obey them are fined. And the police is violent, and churches are closed. We are in strict lockdown. We have to be COVID tested every 7 days if we want to keep going to the work. Otherwise, we get fined. Communism was about having the same clothes as everyone else. Everything is ours. So everyone was stealing things, but there were no homeless people. People that believe in God could not be promoted into higher position at the work. Also, you cannot study at the universities if you are religious. They were prosecuted if they went to church on a Sunday. For my understanding of the COVID test, 7 days is still not enough. So, in order to have the accuracy, you must have almost every day tested. Otherwise, it's totally pointless. My understanding is going to the test site is also the risk. Everyone has a different opinion about the COVID and the pandemics, which don't want to go to the test site every week. I think testing site itself is a high risk of infecting COVID. I know one case in this person's country that the man was required to have the COVID testing frequently. He encountered two people who were tested positive. After a few days, he started to feel symptoms, but it was too late. Almost the same time, his entire family was infected. Plus, PCR test accuracy is 50 to 70%. So rather not to be gathered for the testing, or should not be at the testing site. That's my opinion. I respect the different opinions if our intentions are same. They only have been having democracy for just 30 years. It was not so long ago. By losing choices, whether they get vaccine or not, they start to feel that their old fear of the communism regime. That's how I see their reaction towards the vaccines. I haven't really confirmed this, but sounds like their vaccine is not really good quality one. But in this person's country, it's supposed to buy, let's say, many jobs. So this person is saying under communism regime, they do not have the sense of possession. So in the end, they start to steal things from the other people. So that is why back in the day, there's no homeless people. That doesn't sound good, huh? This is something that I did not know. Basically, under the communism regime, they don't have a freedom of practicing religious life. You don't really have a freedom to practice the religion. They still had it, but I heard they have to go to church in a different city, so neighbors don't notice that you are practicing religion. Right. And question four. If you don't mind, please share your experiences of communism era of your country, comparing with your lifestyle in different regime. Tell me how it was like. Also, we could not travel abroad. This was supported by propaganda that in abroad there is a terrible life or something. People were dreaming about America because it was almost impossible to get there. Because America was a symbol of freedom that we did not have. It is from what I remember back then. We constantly talk about this kind of questions. So the person shared already a lot of it already. Okay, so basically, like there's a propaganda that there's a terrible life out there, so that's why they don't go. That was the idea. In communism era, they could still travel, but it's very restricted. I would say they could not travel freely. In order to make a trip, they have to have a noble reason and they have to apply a permission to the government. And every time they cross the border, they had to have a check-in. What I see from this, I think freedom for people are very oppressed under the communism regime. Since not so long ago, they experienced the life what they called like slaves. They sense fear of losing freedom they enjoyed again soon. So, according to those answers, I really see how they get influences from what happens in America. Many of the former communist countries get freedom because of America's help. Past 30 years, they really had a different life, such as finally owning their own houses. They earned the money and bought the stuff they want. They sense fear of losing freedom they enjoyed again soon. Because they quickly see after this, COVID thing happens, and uh, they see the career change from what they already so used to. They're more serious about the freedom. It is very interesting sign, and since people like us who have never experienced such an oppressed life should hear their voice and have opportunity to think about our choices. But just to think about it, we right now we already don't have so much of freedom that we can talk on the internet, and that really fears me. Even making a show like this, I feel fear. But anyways, that's what I wanted to share today. And if you want to share your point of view, you're welcome to write the comments. And also, if you like this show, subscribe to the channel, please. This Girl Talks the World is not the continuous series. It's a random. When something comes up, I will just make the video. Your opinion really kind of is important for me. So please don't hesitate leaving comments. All right. Thank you for watching, and then see you real soon.